So I'm at the Rice Creek chain of lakes. I'm on my bike. I dropped off my kayak at Lake Peltier and drove to where I'm going to finish. And I'm on the trails that go through Rice Creek Park on my way back to pick up my kayak. This is actually a really nice bike trail. That's what we're doing today. My first bikes, kayaks, and automobiles adventure. Yeah, this is a really nice trail. Very wooded. It's kind of warm out. I was glad that I could make it work so that I could do the biking portion at the beginning, because it'll be hotter later. But I'm not really sure on the map if I'm going in the right direction. I got on the right trail, but some of it got a little confusing when I looked at online as to what all went through and where it went through at. But so far so good. It's a huge pedestrian bridge going across this marshy area. It looks like, so far from what I can tell, this is going to be a very marshy ride on the kayak, because it looks like it's pretty much these tall weeds in the grass everywhere. So turns out I was going the wrong way. Ran into a nice lady who gave me directions back. She says it's really confusing and she's gotten lost there before too. So she gave me directions to where I need to go. Probably ended up going 2-3 miles out of the way. It felt wrong, but I'm not familiar with this area at all, so I didn't know. But she gave me directions and I know where I need to go now. And I probably have, I don't know, maybe 4 more miles till I get there, so we should be on the water here in no time. So this is the Chaminade golf course. Oh good, there's a biker ahead of me. I can just follow where he goes. How you doing? You got a beer there for me?
No.
I think this is where I turn, and then I think it's just up on the right a little bit up. So I made it back to Lake Peltier. Drove by, my kayak's still there, so I'm going to chain up to this post here, and then we'll get started on the kayaking portion. And we're off. And again, I picked another day with strong winds. Oh, this is really shallow. And weedy. We're stuck already. Let's get over here further. Get over here. Looks a little deeper. So Rice Creek runs through all these lakes, thus the Rice Creek chain of lakes. So this is probably Rice Creek right here. Lake Peltier is dammed off from the creek right where I came in at. This is really weedy. And I went against my whole, I don't want to kayak on lakes thing, and I want to do rivers on this only because when I first looked at the map, it looked like I could do a circle of lakes, launch from one point and just do one big loop. And then when I looked at it further, you couldn't. But then I kind of had already set that I was going to do this in my mind. So I'll be going through 3 of the lakes. That was Lake Peltier where we started. This is Lake Marchand right up here. And I don't remember what the 3rd lake is. So I'm gonna get blown around here a little bit, but we started right here. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. We started right up here, and I'm going through this right now. And then we're gonna go down here, through all that, and all the way down, and that's where I'm parked, right down there. So we're gonna just go through, oh, the Marchand's a second. George Watch is the lake we're on now. And we're getting caught up in all these weeds. So it's just a short jaunt once we get up here, and I think I'll be glad for that because I'm already going back to my why would I want to do a lake? And I just thought with all these channels in between, I thought maybe I would like it, but I'm already not liking it. All these weeds. Keep flipping them up on the paddle and they're landing on me. Yep, this was not a good choice of places to go. Hi. I'll get out of your way a little bit.
I can't say that I'm super impressed.
I don't like it at all.
Have you been here before?
No.
So I just went up, because I mean I looked at it on
It looked nice. That's what I thought too.
And then I went up as far as what I was seeing in George Watch.
Oh, that's just right there, right?
Well, it's around the corner a ways, but it was so booky and nasty rough, I just turned around. I'm like, I need to put my boat and go.
Is the current going, am I going against the current going up that way? Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so fast. And I kept thinking, oh, it'll open up, and
Oh, so, yeah, because well, maybe I'll just go back too. I don't really want to fight this whole thing, but, well, I'm going to try it. Yeah. Well, I don't like all these weeds, I'll tell you that. Okay. I'm like caked in mud from paddling through mud. But this is seriously, there's no way that people do this and not like it. There's no way. Come on. Yeah, well, at least I'm not the only one that doesn't like this place. This is going to be a hard paddle to get to that corner. The wind is so strong. I got to look up wind directions next time I go and make sure I'm going on a day that the wind's going in the direction I'm going, because this has been too many trips that I've chosen where I gotta fight the wind all day. So I'm finally getting out of that first section, that channel of all the weeds. It looks like there's a bunch of more weeds to go through to get into the lake. And that is Lake George Watch Lake. And then the next lake is Marchand. That's the one I thought this was for some reason. George Watch Lake. And it looks like this is the best way through is over here. Continue to throw leaves or weeds on myself with this paddling through this stuff. So far, very unimpressed by this. Whoever puts out their stuff on the internet does a really good job with marketing, because they sold me and that lady that I passed earlier that this was a good place to come to kayak. And I mean, if you like to kayak through weeds, I guess maybe it is. But I have not been impressed at all. And it confirms my I don't want to kayak lakes thought that I had before, that I broke on this one. Keep throwing all those weeds on myself. And it stinks. And I'm glad it's not later in the day, because it'd probably be filled with mosquitoes. Oh my God, all these weeds flying up. The drip rings, it's bad enough that the water drips on you. You don't need weeds dripping on you too. Not anything that I care to do. Next trip will definitely be on a river. I gotta get up around that corner up there. Then I get in another channel. But yeah, somebody sold this really well on the internet, and it's like buying a used car from the wrong place, because this is not what they said it would be. And it literally said everybody goes out of that, starts at that place that I started, and I don't really see that. It didn't look like it was highly trafficked by any means, and I don't see it as people starting to do any kind of kayaking trip going through all that stuff. That other lady got partway up and turned around. She had to have been kind of close to where it opened up when she turned around, but she just gave up on it. Holy cow. These fish just keep jumping. I'm just crossed that lake, George, whatever his name was, lake. And now to get into the channel to go to the next lake, you got to go through all this thick stuff. And these big red, I don't know if there's red carp or what, but they're huge. They're a couple feet long. They keep jumping up all over the place. And I keep wishing that I'd have taken that lady up on turning around and going back right at the beginning, because this, I would rather gone back, chained the kayak back up and taken my bike back and got the car and came back and got it, because this is not a good place to kayak. And I don't know why. I have no idea why anybody would say it is. Zero idea why they would say that. Look at how thick this is. This is the lake, and you can see how thick this is, all weeds, like thick weeds too, like the paddle gets stuck in it, thick weeds. These are the kind of weeds that you fall in the water and you get tangled up and you can't get out. I don't even think I'm halfway done. You know a place is bad. Oh, there jumps another one of those fish. You know a place is bad when at the very beginning of the trip you're wishing it was over. Whoa, those fish. I gotta get out of here. Oh my God, they're jumping all over the place. Seriously. They're literally jumping all over the place. You can see two more up there. There's one like stuck right here. I'm gonna be right next to it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. This is not a place to kayak. There's another one stuck right there. See, there's a carp right there. I think it's a carp. Right in front of the boat. I'm gonna actually hit him in a second if he doesn't move. Oh, I think that's what it was. I don't know really what's back here. I just want to get out of here. Never again am I doing anything that says lake in it. I don't care how good somebody sells it. This is like, I can't even describe this. And these fish jumping all over. There's dead fish there. And all these weeds flying up. That's basically what I'm gonna remember from this trip, is that dead fish lying in the water right there. But I'll be glad when this one's over. There is no way that anybody does this and says it's as good as what they were saying it is on the internet. Oh, everybody does it and starts up here, and oh, they go 9 miles and they love it. And I'm just right now glad that I only chose to do half of it. I almost did the whole 9 miles. I thought, oh, I'll do the 9 miles. And then decided this morning, well, let's just do the halfway part. There's a good place to leave the car parked and I can get out. And if I want to do more, I'll come back a different day. But won't be coming back to this place. That's for sure. Because it is literally all weeds. I'm in the second channel. Going to the second one, two, well, it'd be actually the third lake. And it's the same thing. It's just all weeds. The whole thing, it's just all weeds. The paddle gets stuck in some of them. There was a spot back there that literally there were so many weeds you probably could walk across it because I could barely paddle through it. But it just, this is all it looks like. The whole thing. The lakes aren't much better. And I'm just not getting it. And if somebody that's watching this video has paddled this, you know, chain of lakes and can tell me, you know, what it is that's they like about it so that I can see what I'm missing. But I'm having a hard time with finding something that's good about it. I have to keep reminding myself that I like this and I'm out here by choice. But sometimes you make good choices and sometimes you make bad choices. And I'm not going to say this is a bad choice, but it definitely was not a good one. But on a positive note, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's probably, I'm kind of guessing mid-80s, so it's not too hot or too cold. I see throwing leaves up on myself. The bike trail was, that part was worth it. This part, I'm still waiting for something good to happen that will kind of redeem it, like at the end, you know how something's horrible and then at the very end something really good happens and you're like, oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. Well, Got about another mile or two for something amazing to happen to redeem this place. Otherwise, this will probably go down on the bottom of my list as the worst place to kayak ever. Half tempted to pull up on the shore and dock this thing and walk back to my Jeep. Weeds everywhere. This was not a good idea. So this is Lake Marchand, and literally it's all those weeds, the whole thing. There's a couple paths through it, but the whole thing is covered in those lily pads. Aside from there's that one path up the center, and I'm hoping this path that I'm starting to go on right here, which is supposed to be the direction I need to head, I'm hoping this actually goes through. But it's looking pretty shallow. But the whole lake is covered in these things. Now tell me why somebody thinks this is a good place to kayak. I just don't even get it. This is really muddy, but I'm gonna be stuck in a second. I don't know if I can get through here. According to the map, I need to get down straight where I'm facing. But I might have to go all the way up that and around. I'll try one more time. Let's see if we can get through here. Looks like there might be enough of a path. I've been better off with a cane pole than this paddle. It's really thick. That mud. I'm not stepping out into that. Wow. That's a lose a shoe in mud there. Okay, I gotta go back. I can't go through here. I'm literally paddling mud. That smells like sewage. Literally smells like sewage. Oh my goodness. I better not get this close and have to turn around. And try that part that looked kind of open. Come on. Just stop blowing for a second. I can't go any other way. Get out and walk if I could. Come on. There's a 0 chance anybody thinks this is a good place to kayak. 0. They just have a good marketing team. Oh my goodness. Come on. Come on. The end's like right over there. I don't even know if I can get through any of this to get to where I need to go. I'm like barely moving, and it's super shallow and the mud is there, but it's so thick I would get out and walk, but the paddle I can't even push to the bottom of the mud, so if I stepped in it I'd probably get stuck, so I can't get off. But this is seriously, there's no way that people do this and not like it. There is no way. I'm like caked in mud from paddling through mud. I'm gonna try and go through these lily pads and just hope I get through to the other side. Oh my God, the mud! I am like caked in mud, literally caked in mud. It just keeps flying up from the paddle because it's so shallow and you're literally paddling mud and whatever this stuff is up onto yourself. There's no way anybody thinks this is a good place to kayak. There's no way. And I see that open water there, and I'm praying and praying and praying I can get to it. But now I'm stuck again. And I can't step out. This is the worst thing ever as far as kayaking goes. Not even moving. I can see open water up here, and it better be open water all the way to where I need to go once I get there. Oh, this is so gross. Oh my gosh, so gross. Look at this. Look at this. It's all over me, both sides. Paddling mud. That stinks. Oh my, gross. Stuff just is flying everywhere. Get me out of here. I can't believe anybody seriously ever said once in their life this was a good place to go kayaking. Because there's a 0 chance that that was true, that the people saying that are true. Stuff flying every time I paddle. I'm covered in weeds and muck and dirt. The whole kayak is just covered in mud. Literally covered in mud. I don't know where the end point is. It's got to be about straight on from where I'm going. This map is all covered in mud. Follow it to the point. I think I can see where the water's going, where I need to be now. It's kind of opened up a little bit where I can at least paddle now and not be digging up dirt at the same time, throwing mud everywhere. Nope, come on, please, please, please. Oh my, look at this. Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, now I think if I follow this clear water path, oh my goodness, my arms are so tired. I literally was like shoveling through mud because I was grounded for most of that, where I was touching the ground, but when I put the paddle down to see like how deep it was, the mud went down. I mean, I was stuck, but the mud was deeper than I could shove the paddle down, so I couldn't step out. Oh. So if you stuck with me this far through all this torture, I guess the lesson learned on this is sometimes these YouTube videos aren't always a, hey, I want to go try that, or hey, I want to go do that thing. It's more of a, hey, I don't ever want to do that. I'm going to tell you right now, Rice Creek chain of lakes. Oh my gosh, I can see the bridges right there. Thank goodness. The Rice Creek chain of lakes, if somebody's telling you that this is a good place to paddle, they've never done it, because there is not a redeeming quality, aside from the fact that this is almost over, that I can find in this. Nothing. It was torture. I'm covered in mud, the kayak's covered in mud and weeds, and it probably took me, I don't know what time it is, but I bet it took me at least an hour longer than it should have, because of just having to paddle literally through mud, because I was stuck and there was nowhere else I could go but try and get through it, because there's no clear paths on this lake anyway, this Lake Marchand. So anyway, I can even see the bridge. Thank goodness. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I'm sticking to rivers from now on. I have zero interest in lakes. I don't know why I was able to convince myself that this was going to be a good idea, but the bike ride was fine. You want to do some nice biking. The trails are super nice here at the Rice Creek chain of lakes, or Rice Creek County Park, or whatever this place is called. But there's way better places to kayak. I could put a kiddie pool in my backyard and that would be a better place to kayak. So I'm going to end this video on this. Next time it'll be a better place. It'll be a river. Oh, yep, there's the bridge. So if you like this kind of stuff, you know, torturous paddling through mud and weeds and, you know, no clear path. If you like that kind of stuff, I don't do it very often, but you can join me on future adventures. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.